Saul Kirsch here with Double Alpha Academy, and I'd like to show you an issue that some customers have faced with the Primer Pro and a solution which is a little better and long-lasting than just cleaning the RAM. Some primers tend to have a lot of production lube on them, and when you run them through the Primer Pro, after a short time, maybe 600, 800 or 1,000 primers, they start running slower and slower down the ramp. As you can see here, after about 1,000 primers of these Fiocchi small rifle. Primers are exiting fairly slowly, coming down the ramp in a sluggish manner. Now, slow-moving primers down the ramp can create all kinds of issues. First of all, if they exit too slowly at the top of the ramp, they may bunch up here, in which case they could get sucked back under the disc, and that creates a malfunction. If they pass the sensor too slowly, the sensor may throw up an error thinking that the ramp has backed up, and that will throw up an error as well and stop the machine. The third issue is at the bottom here. Rather than falling straight down and getting in front of the hammer, they may tend to bounce around here and not actually go all the way to the bottom of the ramp, which will allow them to get in front of the hammer for feeding. So you don't want the primers falling down the ramp too slowly. One solution, of course, is to use a solvent like a cockpit cleaner, some kind of plastic solvent that you can use an earbud or some kind of cleaning swab to run down the ramp and clean it from time to time to keep the primers moving quickly. But another solution is actually very effective and much more long-lasting, and that is to make serrations on the surface of the ramp. And that eliminates that binding between the flat surface of the primer and the flat surface of the ramp. Now, this is so effective that we've decided in future productions to include that in the design of the product. But for those who have the first units out there and they have a smooth, flat surface of the ramp, what you can do is you can make those serrations yourself very easily. And the way to do that is to take 6 or so needles, hold them together, and the way easiest to do that is using some duct tape or something similar. You can use some hot glue if you have it, to position the needles all at the same length and hold them together in a pack like this. And then using this tool, you can simply run down the ramp a few times, pressing moderately, and you'll be able to create those serrations that'll make all the difference in the world. So I'm going to show you now how to do that and how effective it is. Without cleaning the machine, we're going to go from the slow primers that we're seeing now to a much faster result. Let's first empty the ramp, get rid of these primers here. We'll open it up. The hammer is out the way, which is handy. So I'm just going to bring in my pack of needles and I'm going to run it pressing down all the way to the bottom. And I'm going to repeat that motion perhaps 5 or 6 times. And this is a little inconvenient with the camera in front of me, but I want to try and get up here and get into the exit ramp as well here, into this area. And that's pretty much it. I'm done. Okay, so now I've concluded the serrations, making the serrations on the ramp, and I've cleaned up any residue that I had there. And now the primers should be moving a lot faster down the ramp. And you can see the difference there is very noticeable. They no longer have that binding between the surface of the ramp and the primer, and this will create a much more reliable feeding process. Once these serrations are done, you should not need to repeat the cleaning quite so as often, if at all, and your Primer Pro will run much better. All of the units shipping around middle of January and further will already include these serrations done in-house. If you have any other questions, you can reach us at doublealpha.biz.